Hey, WeedFreak976 here, and I have to do another one of these type of videos, but really this one is a doozy. This one is basically capitalism is tyranny, oppression, slavery, whatever you want to call it, for the poor and the sick. It is. People think when Lincoln freed the slaves back in 1800s that our form of slavery was over. It was just beginning. You work for a boss. If you make a mistake, you get fired. If they make a mistake, no big deal. You work for the wage they tell you to. You do the work they tell you to. Capitalism is oppression. That's what it is. And I dare anybody out there to tell me different. Because basically, you have to make people follow certain rules and stuff in order to free up the market. You know, I mean, I hate this idea. Everybody's like, America's a republic, and we have to, you know, the republic and the individual is protected from the masses. You know what? That's a bunch of bullshit. Because if that was the case, then there would be no laws, hardly. Because everybody's going to disagree on a law, okay? What are you going to do? I mean, everybody's like, I don't want the state. What's next? After I don't want the states involved, or the government involved, just the states. Then there's going to be people like, well, I don't like that law in my state. What are you going to do? Break it down by counties then? Jesus Christ, people. Anyway. Capitalism. And this is from my good buddy, Lissa, Vampire Son of the Proud. Tyranny. And you cannot have tyranny without capitalism and consolidation of wealth. And that before Stalin's Soviet Union, before Chinese Communist Maoist, before Castro's Cuba, before GDR East Germany. Capitalist tyranny was first and worst tyranny for nearly 2,000 years, most acutely through the 800 to 1400 AD, from the Holy Roman Empire to the feudalistic, monarchical, authoritarian, capitalist, aristocratic, peasant tyranny for 1,000 years in the medieval century, particularly in the Renaissance era, 1460 to 1830s, the exploration era, the 1490s, the 1780s, and the colonial era, the 1610s and the 1870s. Era of authoritarian capitalist tyranny and slavery worldwide. The revolutionary areas of the 1690s to 1840 actually were a resistance by peasants weary of agonizing struggles, selecting resistant rebels to those worldwide aristocratic, feudalist, monarchy-free, market capitalist tyrannies for 1,400 years. The French, American, Mexican, and Italian revolutions of the 1700s and the European revolutions of the 1848 preeminated and undermined the repulsed revulsion of peasants against capitalist tyranny by the rich, privileged, inherited class for 1,400 years throughout Europe, Russia, Middle East, and Asia. Capitalist tyranny symptoms and catastrophic atrocities were the entire reason for all the previous revolutions. These long before the 20th century Soviet tyranny. That's exactly right. And you want to know why Karl Marx and them wanted to call for a revolution or revolt? This is the reason why. We people have never been free. The people of this world have never been free. We have always been oppressed. And the reason why is for the rich. The rich want to control everything. Control us, control what we do, say, think, and that's it. Because they want their money, which it isn't your money. Your workers who make the products that make people buy your product, that make you rich, yeah. Let's live in a society more where the workers have control. In a community where we live and work together. Where we do live in a more democratic socialist society. And that way, everyone would have a chance. In Sweden, there's only an 18% income gap between the top and the bottom. Norway, they have the highest standard of living. And yet in America and Ireland, they have free education and free health care. And in America, we don't. We have nothing. We have the poorest infrastructure. We have the poorest health care for the people below a certain income. We have the poorest education. I want better for my country, and I want the people to be free. Even if it means a revolution, a revolt, whatever it takes. Fight against this slavery, tyranny, whatever you want to call it. Fight against this tyranny. Fight against capitalism. It's destroying this country. And that's the truth.